2008 Land Rover LR2. I'm gonna try to replace this leather armrest cover. It's got 150,000 miles and it's seen better days. So only tools I should need are a T30 Torx and a flathead screwdriver. And the first thing I'm gonna do is come and pop this cover off so I can access the bolt. Alright, so this cover's got like three detents holding it in place, and it looks like it'll slide down when you pop it out. So I'm gonna come in from the, well, I'm gonna try to pop them out a little bit here first. And then coming from the top and try to push it down. Oh, there it goes already. Yeah, so if you see 1, 2, 3 detents, and then this geometry here will catch the head of the bolt there. Let's see how this goes. Oh, not a lot of torque on that one. Alright, it's a short bolt with a washer. Alright, so I'm not sure if this was the correct way to do or not, but I had to move this to the most extreme position outward, or the lowest setting, and then I was able to rock this and back and forth and break it loose. Here are the replacements I ordered. I could only find them from China. They were just a few bucks, so it's pretty good. Passenger side's not really damaged, so I think I'm just going to stick to the driver's side one for now. It's not actual leather, it's like a pleather. But it doesn't look like it's too bad. So what I'll do now is I'll start peeling this off. Here's part number if anyone's looking for the original equipment component. Alright, brought this inside because it's cold in the garage and my workbench is covered with other projects. So, you note there's some adhesive holding this in place. This was the largest opening here. So I'm going to try to get everything to slide out from this side. I'll have to find some other adhesive as well to replace this. I did not find replacement foam for sale, so I want to be careful with that. There's some something a little more aggressive than Velcro there. Let me see if this piece has it inside. It does not, so I might have to try to transfer that over to help secure the new one. And then I'll have to figure out how to release this part. So I'm probably going to have to open this guy up. See what's in there. Alright, so I took the 4 screws out. They're Phillips heads, 2 on each side. And it looks like the top is what comes off. So I'll struggle with this for a bit. Alright, so the way this comes out is there are a few retention tabs, and you got to swing the rear part loose, and then there's a tab in the front that once you pull it loose, you push in that direction and it comes off. So here's that retaining feature I was just talking about that will hold everything in the front. It goes through right here. And then there was a snap ring here that I had to get out. It was between these two 2 slots, and now it looks like I can just unthread this completely to walk it out. Alright, so the rod came out very easily. It's just threaded in through here. Only concern I have is there was this random piece that definitely snapped onto the leather somewhere and was holding something in place, hanging out here. Probably will not get to reuse that. And then just a closer look at this rod. Here's the groove for that snap ring. Alright, so I didn't put this rod back in because I was trying to just loosely install it to see how this character line was going to fit, since it doesn't have the Velcro inside. Looking at the Velcro, or whatever you want to call it, the hook side, it is actually installed using adhesive, so you could rip it out and cut this piece off. But I think given that this is on the inner side, I'm just going to run some adhesive very close to there and hold it in place. So I'm going to remove this. I am struggling a little bit to get the end on, but I'm going to hit this with some heat so I can just hopefully get the material to bend a little bit better. So I'm going to heat this up in a few localized areas and try to fit this tighter, and then I'll pull it off and reassemble it correctly. Alright, so heat definitely helped work the top on. I don't have the whole thing on. I'm going to take it apart, put some adhesive on, assemble this, and keep going from there. Alright, got this threaded through the hole, and the snap ring is back in place. Alright, something that seems to be working well is I partially reassembled this and started at the top here. That's about as tight as I can get it. There's a little bump here, but that's the way this was stitched. I don't think I can work that out, but I'll give that a few more minutes, and I'll reassemble this, put some adhesive on this Velcro in the side alongside it, and tighten it from there. Alright, I got the sub-assembly back together, and I put some adhesive on both sides. Try not to put too much. I mean, it's hard with a squeeze tube, but it's just holding some fake leather in place, right? So it's not like it's a gasket or anything. And if I ever have to do this again, I'll cut this part off. It's not worth trying to save it. Alright, I've worked this down towards the end here. I'm just going to put a few drops of adhesive where prior adhesive was. I'm not even going to clean that up. And around here as well. I'm nearing the end here. It's becoming quite the challenge of dexterity, finger dexterity, and patience. I've only put adhesive on this part because I figure I'll have access to here when I'm up there. All right, finally got this in. Tried to get that seam as aligned as possible. I peeled this adhesive off because I realized that was holding this tag in place for the most part. I'll have to see if this shows, otherwise I'll have to work it down a little bit further. But overall, fits all right. Was quite a struggle to get it on as expected. I'll go work this over some heat, see if I can move this down just a little bit for now and have it stay in position, and then reassemble it all in the vehicle. All right, just looking at the functionality on the passenger armrest. This part's never going to be exposed. And then I did notice that there's this item at maybe like a 45-degree angle. That's what you have to align here to get the armrest to go on. Now I'll just secure it with the bolt and put the cover back on. I may have to open up the leather to get these parts to snap in. Oh, it's good. Articulated a bit. Just make sure that part doesn't show. It does not. And that's that. All right, just a minor item to notice. It's kind of hard to see in the video, but like I said, it is a slightly different stitch. And this material is has a little bit more of a, I'd say, a grip to it when you put your clothing on it versus the leather, which is pretty slick. But overall, the vehicle's pretty dark inside, and I think it's difficult to tell. Someone would really have to be paying attention to notice the difference. So for about 20 bucks, and I got both of these guys, only used one so far, I think it was a pretty good deal.